Our next video now. This is how we're going to build pages, not just the front page, but pages we can use in any portfolio. So, if we pick up where we left off, we have this page which is our opening page, which will be at this address. So all of you will have your name and then foliaz.ca, which basically becomes a website that people can access if you give them permission. So now we're going to look at how you create pages that can build into this. So you can start listing your pages down here. So if we go into Portfolio and we go Pages, this will come to a page where anything we've done up to now will be listed, as you see at the beginning. But you can create a new page just by simply clicking on Create. Now what happens, you give the page a title. Now at this point, you'd have to have an idea for the page. So if you're looking at our standards, for instance, you may be thinking about you want to do something for, say, professional commitment. So maybe you've done some like work with EDSA or some type of organization outside. So you could put something here, commitment to profession, and that could be a title. Now you can change this at any time, and you can develop these adding on the description, I volunteered, right? And you can describe it as whatever is needed to make the page make sense. You can also add tabs down here. So little tags here you could connect to the idea of what commitment does. You may think that the page content is going to do something like professional contributions. So you can start filling that in as an example of something that would meet the BC College of Teachers standards for certification. Now this is just your opening page. Once you save that, it allows you to access our drag and drop. So here we can drag in any of these type of structures that we want to add, as in maybe a folder, there may be some pictures, potentially normally you have some type of text you might want to do at the top, for instance, to explain what's going on in this, whatever process is you want to describe. And as you start doing that, you're building up an explanation, and you can edit the structure. So I can always change the layout. If I don't want to have 3 columns, I can go to 2 columns. Just like we did before. And as you're doing this, you're basically starting to shape the page. But bear in mind, it's never fixed. You can always keep changing it. The wonderful thing is it's very, very flexible. So as you start to build it, that page, more like a magazine article, starts to really take on a shape. And critically, you want to make sure it makes sense to the reader, and you want to make it eye-catching, and you can attach at the bottom anything like a folder that you think is important or particular files, and they can just be added to the bottom of the page. And what I'll do is just drag those down, and when I do that, it basically accesses what I've uploaded. And if I wanted to connect this one, I want to check, I wouldn't mind putting that one there, so then you just go select, and now you save it, and that's been added to the page. So really it becomes, you tell a story. So if you have to take a little look, I've done a few more like these on another portfolio where lots of pages to start to develop. And any one of these pages now I can add as a collection. When you first start, you'll probably just have the 3 pages that are focusing around the idea of knowledge, practice, and commitment. And you will probably connect those just to your front page. But you can also start to connect pages together in collections. So right now, if I look at one of these I've done before, for instance this one on practice, as I open up the page, you see it starting to develop. And I'm showing here links to a Prezi and some website set up with videos my students created in my class. And on this side, I would start to edit it and start to explain what I'm showing on the right hand side. And just as before, it comes up, and now when I click just at the top here, it says configure emergence in sight. It opens up that text box. So now I can start building my explanation and making it clearer to the reader what's being offered on this page. That often you can do in Word and just copy and paste in. You can also change the title of the block, and in this one you've got lots of editing potential, so you can actually, if you want to, use things like italics or bold, and if it's appropriate you can even put in smiley face. Give you a sense of pages. Thanks very much.